Hi guys, thanks for joining me here at Tactical Review. I'm Blair, and today I have what I hope turns out to be a quick video. I realized I was sitting on a promo code that maybe a lot of you hadn't found. It's time sensitive. It expires here in a couple of days, and then I want to talk a little bit about everyday carry, or EDC. So first, that promo code, because that's what you're probably here for based on the title of the video. And that's a promo code for 25% off of a North American Rescue Combat Application Tourniquet, the 7th Gen. And this isn't my promo code. This isn't special for me. May is Stop the Bleed month. And so this code expires here in just a couple of days. But I wanted to give you a chance to take advantage of it. And then I'm going to talk about why you might want a tourniquet. So anyway, that promo code is capital NSTBM 2019. That's National Stop the Bleed Month 2019. Get you 25% off your order at North American Rescue. They are the creators of the Cat Gen 7. That is the best place to buy it. I was looking at buying one off of Amazon, and by the time it was all said and done, between using the promo code at North American Rescue and just regular price at Amazon was only, I think, 16 cents cheaper, and there has been a high number of counterfeits from Amazon. So I'd recommend going ahead and buying from North American Rescue. That way you know you're getting the legit product. Now, if you're going to run off and use the promo code, please at least keep the video running in the background. You know, help a brother out. But anyway, I want you to take advantage of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about why you want to add that to your daily carry. And we're going to talk about everyday carry in general. Of course, on a gun-related channel, a Second Amendment-related channel, the first thing everybody thinks about is when they hear everyday carry is your pistol, whatever handgun you're carrying. But honestly, everyday carry, it's everything we carry with us on a daily basis, and sometimes that's going to change. You know, usually, let's see here, at very least, I've got my car key. But that changes. You know, if it's on the weekend and I'm with the family, I'm probably going to have the minivan key. And I don't like a lot of keys in my pocket, so I keep those separate. You know, I might have my work keys with me. It's usually a good idea to carry a pocket knife. Or maybe even a multi-tool. Super handy right here. And this is a Gerber, and it's been good to me. Leathermans are good. You can read reviews. Really, it's a good idea to have a multi-tool on you. Not only is it your knife, you never know when you've got to turn a screw, get a hold of something with a pair of pliers. Ideally, if you've got room, you should probably choose this over this. Or pull a Zoidberg on that and go, why not both? Okay, those are typical everyday carry things. A flashlight. A flashlight is a really good idea for daily carry. I use one all the time, and really it's kind of an overlooked thing that most of us are carrying a smartphone with us, and so honestly, we've begun carrying a flashlight regularly without even thinking about it. Of course, that is dependent on your phone's battery, and might possibly be you might be making the choice between do I have the battery remaining for a phone call, or do I use my flashlight? And obviously, probably you're going to need your wallet with you on the regular. Guys, women, you probably have a wallet in your purse, and you guys carry typically, and this is a hasty generalization, but typically women actually in carrying that purse, they carry a lot more around than we guys do. I know sometimes I rely on my wife having her purse for someplace to stash other things. So this is kind of the every citizen carry already. And I'm going to put out there that you should have a small, some sort of trauma kit with you. And again, it's a good time to get it. You've got that promo code that'll work here for the next couple of days. And I've just recently started adding a tourniquet and stashed inside the tourniquet a pair of nitrile gloves to my everyday carry. I intend on actually, I need to get like a compression bandage and some sterile gauze, add some duct tape. Those don't take up a lot of room, but let's face it, in our life, it is much more likely that we're going to come across a car accident, maybe be the first people there, or some sort of injury, and this goes even more if you work in construction or something like that, where being able to apply first aid to a trauma injury, that's much more likely than the necessity for most of us. Okay, again, this is generalization. It's much more likely that we're going to run across a need to be able to apply first aid to a trauma victim than it is that we're going to ever need our handgun in self-defense. But then that brings us to the next part, the part that most of us are most familiar with everyday carry, and that is carrying a handgun. And that adds to the rest of our everyday carry. Unfortunately, that means for most of us that we've got to add some sort of permit from the government to actually practice our constitutional rights. I'm not going to get onto that too much. Every gun law is an infringement of the Second Amendment, even the ones we agree with. Most of us would agree that we don't want guns in the hands of felons. But the laws that allow that to happen do infringe, or at least impinge, on the rights of law-abiding citizens. But once you have gone through everything you need to practice your Second Amendment rights, well, now we add to the everyday carry. So I'm going to reach down here and grab my holster off my belt, if I can get her done. All right, so now we're adding a handgun. So, and keeping in mind, once again, I've already talked about I am frugal bordering on cheap most of the time. That said, when it comes to something that we're going to talk about relying on for, as Erica at Iraq Veteran 8888 says, life and liberty, we're talking about something that if this guy comes out and we're not at the range, I need it to function. Okay, so I carry a Glock. The track record of Glock is that I can anticipate that it will function. Now, it is a machine. It's on me to be training with it so that I'm proficient. It's on me to make sure that I'm maintaining it properly. But the track record for a Glock is I can expect a bang when I pull the trigger. Okay? So this is the only pistol that this is the only brand of pistol that I've carried. I'm not saying there are not other good brands. I'm not going to dump on any brands. But you need to do your due diligence when you're selecting an everyday carry handgun. You need to get some range time with it. A lot of ranges will rent handguns. If you're able, you should go, and at very least, you need to put it in your hand at the store and determine if it fits you well. Ideally, you are going to rent one or two different brands, one or two different models within those brands, and you're going to put rounds down range and make sure that you're comfortable with the weapon that you are considering carrying every day. Okay, on top of that, a new addition for me is a weapon light. Now, I know that there are guys who will carry a weapon light detached to use as their flashlight. Given the mounting situation on the Glock, I figure this is going to stay detached unless I am actually moving it to, or attached, unless I'm moving it to another weapon. So, but that makes sure that if I'm in the situation where it's dark and I have to be able to identify a target, we can start at the low ready, shine the light, up on target, it's a bad guy, we can address the situation. Alright? Ammunition. If you're going to carry a handgun, you do not need to go to Walmart and buy the $36 box or whatever it's going for right now of 200 rounds of 125 grain ball ammunition and say, okay, I've got my practice ammo and my carry ammo. The problem with that is that's going to go, if you ever need it, God forbid, it's going to go right through the intended target and probably keep going, and who knows what it will strike beyond that person. And every round that leaves your firearm, you are responsible for. Good, bad, ugly, or otherwise. So consequently, right now I'm carrying 124 grain Spear Gold Dot plus P. I went with Spear because I know a lot of police departments and sheriff's departments, a lot of law enforcement, that's how to say that, carry Spear Gold Dot. I'm really looking strongly at the 90 grain Underwood Extreme Defender plus P plus round. I'm liking what I'm seeing from a lot of other channels. One problem with a traditional hollow point is that after it passes through clothing, that plug of clothing can stop the proper expansion of that hollow point. The Lehigh defense round that's in the Extreme Defender does not suffer from that problem. So, okay, talked about ammunition, possibly a spare magazine. Now, odds are, if you're in a self-defense situation, you do not need, I'm dropping stuff here, you probably will not need 31 rounds of ammunition. But if you have a malfunction in your loaded in your magazine, you can drop it free and then move on to the next one, because a lot of your malfunctions are going to be magazine related. Quality magazines. In the Glock realm, that by and large means Glock magazines. They're not cheap, but you can find them on a good deal. I think I just picked up 4 of them for $21.80 each. It's from Brownells, and that was after shipping and government theft and everything. I won't swear to that price, but honestly, it's not worth, when you look at the reviews, when you look at the potential for malfunction, as good as PMags are in the AR platform, they have feed issues in the Glock. And I don't know if that has been rectified in newer generations. And honestly, if I'm talking about my life, more importantly, the lives of my loved ones, it's not worth the risk for just a few dollars more. Same thing goes with ProMag. I realize even every good company can have a bad product, but they've got to overcome that. And so, you can, if you have a ProMags for your Glock or Magpul mags for your Glock, you need to be out on the range and make sure they're running and make sure that you don't have any failures. And I'm not talking about one magazine worth. I'm talking about hundreds or thousands of rounds. You need to know that you can rely on your daily carry equipment. All right, we've talked about the pistol. We've talked about making sure that you can deliver rounds into the chamber. We need to also talk about your holster. What I have here is a custom Kydex job from Four Brothers Kydex in Logansport, Indiana. It's new to me, so as a matter of fact, so new, I just got the light in today. The retention in this unit is on the light. But as you can see, okay, I'm not fighting it out. Comes out, goes in well enough. I mean, it's great. And it has plenty of retention to hold the pistol with a loaded magazine. I don't have to worry about losing my pistol here. Prior to this, and this is an appendix carry, I'm trying out a whole lot of new stuff here. Prior to that, for the last several years, I have carried the Bianchi Safariland Model 135 at about the 330 position. I've been super happy with this. Now, it is a leather holster, but I've not had any deformation issues. The one problem here, and allow me to demonstrate the use of having a multi-tool around, well, two problems. One, since I've gone to a weapon-mounted light, unfortunately, this poor Bianchi and I are going to have to part ways. But the second issue with it is retention. Get this screw out of here real quick. There we go. Okay, loaded chamber indicators down. Alright, this rode really well, and where I wore it here at the 334 clock, it put pressure like this, which did give some retention. But the holster as a whole had no retention on its own. Again, wearing it in the belt, I never had an issue with it. I never felt like there was no control with it. The draw was really smooth. By and large, and I just nosed in. You saw that, right? The reholster was fine. But again, I'm wanting to move to having the weapon light mounted, and so yeah, I'm gonna have to retire it. Okay, again, I understand the whole premise of my channel is about budget-minded accessories. But the whole point of today's video is there are times when you can't cut corners. Okay? We're talking for an off-brand, no-name brand, and again, depending on where you buy the Cat Gen 7, you could end up with a counterfeit. Okay, so I recommend buying direct from North American Rescue. But similar tourniquets that aren't, and the soft T comes highly recommended as well. Those are the two tourniquets that are recommended by combat vets, combat medics, first responders, law enforcement, EMTs. The North American Rescue Combat Application Tourniquet or the soft T. Okay? Everything else, you're only looking at saving maybe $15. And the life of every one of my loved ones is worth more than $15. I'm going to say it. Okay? Quality handgun. Yes, you can get a high point for under $200. But you can usually pick up a police trade-in Glock 19 for around the 300 mark. All right, I get it. I've been there where $20 was a lot of money. But I'm telling you that any one of my children's lives is worth more than $100 difference there. I'm not going to do the math in my head, but quality carry ammo for a handgun tends to run something 60 cents to $1.25 a round. Yes, practice ammo runs about 16 cents a round, but man, if I'm saying any one of my family members' lives is worth $100, it's certainly worth $50 to $1.10. All right, quality holster. I carried. Okay, this is confession time. I carried with an Uncle Mike's single point, soft, in the waistband holster for a lot longer than I'm going to admit to a wide public audience. As soon as I had the spare money, though, I did go to something much higher quality. And just, you've got to be super careful, okay? A $15 holster, because it's what you can afford, might end up being a bullet in your own leg. Once again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you pull the trigger intentionally or accidentally. As soon as a round leaves the chamber of a weapon that's in your possession, you are responsible. So if you've got some soft, floppy holster that folds over and gets into the trigger guard, it's on you. All right. I read a news story here just a month, 2 months back. This fella in Alabama, I think, I won't swear to that, he was changing his infant daughter's diaper on the tailgate of his SUV, reaches in the diaper bag, and he had his gun just down in the diaper bag. Well, most of your striker-fired pistols, the only real kind of safety you have is this trigger safety here. Make sure the trigger can't go bang without your finger in there. But he's rummaging around the diaper bag and gets his finger in there. Shot himself through the abdomen, and he died in the parking lot of a store, changing his daughter's diaper. And it grazed his infant daughter's leg. Come on, guys. If you're going to... Those kind of news stories, those kind of mistakes, not only are they heartbreaking, that's what the anti-gun left is going to use to strip our Second Amendment rights further and further away. All right, hopping down off my soapbox. If you're going to carry responsibly. Be safe. All right. Hey, I'd appreciate your support on Patreon. If you're not going to support me, I have huge hopes for the channel, and I'll do what I can, how I can, but YouTube is getting more and more anti-gun. I have no hope as a new creator really of ever being able to monetize my channel. I'll give it a try, but I don't count on it. I know Fit and Fire, they just were permanently demonetized just a couple weeks ago. He's super disheartened about it. So if you've got favorite content creators who are making gun videos, you need to look at what other platforms they're using to support themselves. Some of them have moved to or have all their content on a more friendly platform. Gunstream comes to mind. Full30.com comes to mind. If your favorite creators have their content there as well, I'd recommend going and watching it there. Those platforms are not going to demonetize gun videos. That's what they're there for. Their advertisers are advertisers who intend to support gun-related content. A lot of us are setting up Patreon pages. Support your favorite content providers on Patreon. For a lot of them, you get some added goodies with Patreon. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that. It's only my second content video, so yeah, but I'd appreciate your support. If I'm able to get some support going, I'm going to be able to do cooler things. I have a lot of big ideas. I want to test eBay body armor, things like that. And I'm not the only one out there doing it. There's other guys, they have better equipment and deeper pockets, so it is what it is, right? Hey, thanks for watching. Until next time, shoot straight, stay safe.